Hey everyone, I'm Jason Inman.
And I'm Tiffany Smith. We're the hosts of DC All Access, a daily web series that tackles everything going on in the world of DC. From TV to movies, video games, and collectibles, and of course, you guessed it, animation. But most importantly, comics.
And today we're going to be taking you on a mystical journey through the comic book history of Justice League Dark.
DC is famous for its vibrant superheroes that champion truth and light. But this is a team of heroes that flourish in the shadows. Justice League Dark originated with DC's New 52 reboot of its publishing lineup in 2011.
The thing that sets Justice League Dark apart is that they're not really a team, and they're not really the Justice League.
Written by Peter Milligan with art by Mikel Hanin, the series showcased a team of heroes that specialized in the supernatural side of the DC universe. After the traditional League was defeated by Enchantress, fortune teller Madame Xanadu recruited the Justice League Dark to take on the evil sorceress. The founding members were John Constantine, Zatanna, Deadman, and Shade, the Changing Man.
Soon after the team's formation, they suffered the shocking loss of Shade, and it took the smooth persuasiveness of John Constantine to make the Justice League Dark something more permanent. Constantine's history in DC Comics began with his debut in 1985's Swamp Thing number 37 by Alan Moore and Rick Veitch. With a look inspired by rock legend Sting, John is a blue-collar occult detective from Liverpool and a master of various forms of magic.
He knows every arcane magic spell that there is. He doesn't have to run to a book and look it up.
He's kind of like a street magician, a streetwise magician who's a little bit of an arsehole and a bastard, and he's the kind of guy who will stick his middle finger up to the devil, you know, as he's crawling his way back from hell.
He's kind of like the Batman of the supernatural universe. Batman has a utility belt. Constantine has his trench coat full of magical artifacts that he kind of brings with him on the different missions.
He starred in an ongoing comic book series for almost 30 straight years, beginning with his first series, Hellblazer, which launched in 1988 and ran for 300 issues.
Constantine has an edge to him that you won't get from Superman.
But he's not without a conscience. In one of John's defining moments, he summons a demon that ends up killing a little girl. The experience lands Constantine in a mental hospital, and even after he returns to the outside world, he never manages to shake the guilt he feels for failing an innocent child.
One of the Justice League Dark's most powerful members is Zatanna, who supplanted Constantine as the team's leader when he temporarily quit the League. Zatanna first appeared in 1964's Hawkman number 4 as an expert magician and a member of the mystical Homo Magi race.
I think that she's someone with a good heart that has good intentions, but, gets caught up in a lot of trouble.
The Maestra of Illusion has served on several DC super teams, including the classic Justice League, and she's famous for casting her spells by speaking her incantations backwards.
Zatanna is unique in the sense that her powers are very much like Merlin. Unlike Constantine, who needs artifacts to kind of channel through, Zatanna can do something as simple as, pull a rabbit out of a hat as opposed to pulling down a comet onto the earth. So she's very powerful in that way.
There's this part of her that's just powerful and strong and intimidating, and when you see her snap, it's very grand.
Zatanna's powers are almost limitless. She once resurrected Metropolis after a missile attack left the whole city in a pile of rubble.
Deadman is one of the few members of the Justice League Dark that seems to enjoy his superhero calling. And he proves that just because you're dead doesn't mean you can't save the world. Boston Brand debuted in Strange Adventures number 205 in 1967.
He was a trapeze artist, and he was a very popular circus attraction because he would do everything without a net. And one day, he became a target for a bad guy who actually assassinated him while he was doing his act. He was, I guess, lucky in a way because a mystical being took him to use as his instrument.
Deadman was actually one of my favorite characters. I read the miniseries back in the 80s, and I fell in love with the character.
He's sort of a sassy guy, he's got a lot of spunk, a lot of spirit.
He's kind of the conduit from the dead world into the living.
Deadman is also invisible, and capable of possessing any living being, which he used to heroic effect in helping to save Earth from an alien attack during the Invasion storyline from the late 80s.
There are countless dark forces lurking in the supernatural world, and the Justice League Dark has enlisted help from every magical nook and cranny. Notable recruits include the shapeshifter Black Orchid and monsters like Swamp Thing and Frankenstein.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters in the DC universe who are magic-based, and most of them made an appearance. There's a character named Amethyst who comes from a magical gem world, Tim Hunter. He's been involved in the Justice League Dark.
Bad guys, beware. The Justice League Dark lineup is a who's who of the most powerful mystical beings the DC Universe has to offer.
That's it for this episode, but make sure you click subscribe to DC All Access so you can stay up to date with all the latest news from around the world of DC. See you next time, Super Friends.